The information that you give us, the information that Bashar gives as coming from another race, another species, I guess, is very similar. Very, very similar.
It is
Is
universal knowledge.
Can you explain to me a little of, I mean, is it pulled from the same place and delivered basically in the same way?
Delivery systems are always unique to the race, to those that are receiving it. But the process in which it is done is the same for the most part throughout the universe. So, yes.
I know as I was listening to Daryl Anka, he got involved, aside from the fact that it sounds like he may have had a prior agreement, an arrangement to do so before he came into this physical existence.
There are those arrangements. Yes.
He, through his process, though, actually took a class of learning how to channel. I believe he said it was guided meditations that were offered by one of these entities.
It's an excellent way to learn how to channel. All of you can channel. There is no one that cannot channel. So it is simply finding that connection. We highly recommend that. It's a great tool for you, a great resource for you. Is others who are desiring to achieve the same thing. Create strong energy.
Do you have any particular recommendations as to what they might do to help to achieve that goal?
You must begin, we have said this many times, you must begin by quieting your mind, and we do not mean shutting your office door while your family is screaming outside the door. You need to take a few minutes every day to yourself without interruption, knowing there will be no interruption. When you have a busy life, you anticipate you're going to be interrupted, and you will be interrupted. So it is important to find that time alone and begin clearing your mind. You will find once that begins, once you begin that process, and once you learn that process, you will begin hearing that knowledge which exists inside of you. You must remember too that, Bryan is very new to this channeling and very new to the translating of the information that he receives. It's a lot for him, so he is a little slow going. He wants to get better, and he will. It will become easier. He still has much resistance, so.
Is the information that you give us in any way restricted or less than as a result of that resistance? Do you limit things that you say to us to help keep them within a comfort zone of Bryan's belief structure?
Very much so, but it's also, you must remember that there is only so much that we can give that you will understand in the beginning. To give you more would overwhelm you even more. It would be confusing and not understandable. By downloading this information to Bryan in a slow process, he begins to understand, so that when we begin to discuss things that he's never understood before, he will have a working knowledge already. Does this make sense to you?
Mm-hmm. So it is important, that he has a working knowledge of it.
It makes it
even
easier.
Though it is.
It makes it much simpler. He asks many questions and wants to jump ahead constantly. There is a process.
And I'm assuming that, pun and joke intended, English is a second language for you, at least.
There are many languages.
So you pull from Bryan's vocabulary?
Very much so. We pull from all the vocabulary. It is something that you can do as well. But again, you must believe, truly believe in your heart that it is what you can do. Not that it's even so much possible, but that you can do it. Does this make sense?